Hello, thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. And today we're looking at solving multi-step equations. This is part two to a video on equations, and probably going to put it all together in a group with the inequalities and stuff too. So in the last video, we talked about one step, two step, and literal equations. And in this video, we're going to talk about multi-step equations, when you have more than just two steps. You just got to take time, follow your process, and solve it. So we're gonna go through some of these. First, we'll go over some notes. So it says you use the distributive property, if necessary, to eliminate parentheses. So for example, if you have this A, you got B plus C here. Imagine these are like different terms, but you could say A times the B and A times the C, distributive property. Combining like terms, simplify one or both sides of the equation by combining like terms. Okay. Three, eliminate the constant term by adding or subtracting on both sides. So by the time you get here, it's more of a two-step equation. So we're going to eliminate the constant term by adding or subtracting on both sides. And then eliminate the coefficient of the variable by dividing or multiplying by the reciprocal on both sides. All right, so let's take a look. Here's some notes over here on the side. Talk about the inverse operation, the undo each other. I like say doing the opposite. So if it says add, you subtract. If it says multiply, you divide. If it says square, find the square root, and vice versa. Okay. So I call it doing the opposite. They say inverse operations, all the same thing. All right. So let's take a look at a couple of these. These right here are just dealing with like terms. So let's look at that one. All right, so here we got negative 5n plus 9n minus 15, and it's equal to 1. All right, so what we want to do there first is combine like terms. So like terms on the same side of the equal sign that has the same variable raised to the same exponent. So that would be this negative 5 and this positive 9n, right? So we're going to add those two together. And negative 5n plus 9n is negative 4n. Different signs, find the difference. Negative 4n. 9 minus 5 is 4. Actually, it should be positive. Positive 4n. All right. Now, bring everything else down. Minus 15 is equal to 1. All right. Now I'm going to work with the constant and then deal with the coefficient. So I'm going to add 15 on both sides. 1 plus 15 is 16. And then these will cancel out. I'm going to bring down the 4n. And then we're going to divide by 4. Dealing with the coefficient now. Dividing by 4. And n is equal to 4. All right, so this one doesn't have any distributive property in it. It's just combining like terms before we do the two-step equation. So again, here we go again. We have 3x and 12x. There's a like terms, same variable, same exponent. All right, so 3x plus 12x is going to be 15x. And everything else I'm going to bring down. Minus 20 is equal to 25. Now it's just a regular two-step equation. We're going to add 20 on both sides. These 20s cancel out. I got 15x is equal to 25 plus 20, which is 45. And now I'm going to divide the coefficient. Divide by 15. And x is equal to 3. If you ever need to double check your answer, you can always plug it back in, type it in the calculator, and see if you get it right. All right, let's take a look at a few more. Now, these have distributive property. And I'm going to zoom in well here. First thing I want to do is distribute this 2 times this coefficient of 1. and then 2 times 5. 2 times 1 is 2, n, and 2 times 5 is 10, equal to negative 2. And now we're going straight into our 2 steps. Subtract 10 on both sides. Bring down the 10s, cancel out. Negative 2, negative 10, same sign, find the sum. Negative 12. I'm going to bring down this 2n. 2n is equal to negative 12. All right, now I'm going to divide the coefficient. Divide by 2. N is equal to negative 6. All right, let's take a look at another one. All right, so now I have 4 times 2x minus 7. I'm going to distribute. 4 times 2 is 8x. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28 plus 5. I'm going to find my like terms. Add 28 on both sides. Oh, went too fast there. Like terms here. Here, there are no variables, but they're both constants. So we're going to add those two together, and we get negative 23. So 8x minus 23 is equal to negative 39. All right, we're adding 23 on both sides. I get 8x is equal to negative 39 plus 23, negative 16. Then divide by 8. And x is equal to negative 2. All right, number 3. All right, here, see I get this little minus here? That's understood coefficient of 1, right? That negative 1 needs to be distributed on both of those. So that's going to leave me with 6x. Negative times a positive is a negative. 1 times 3 is 3x. Negative times a positive is a negative. Negative times 1 times 8 is 8, equals 16. We're going to look for our like terms here. 6x and negative 3x. That's going to get us a positive 3x minus 8 is equal to 16. Two-step equation now. Just going to add 8 on both sides. And 3x. 8's cancel out. 16 plus 8 is 24. Divide by 3. And x is equal to 8. All right, now that's multi-step equations with the variable on one side of the equation. But next, we're going to do multi-step equations with the variables on both sides of the equation. And let's see how many of these we can get done here. So here is some more notes to add. Feel free to pause the video if you like, if you want to write these in. But I'm just going to go straight to the equations and solve them here. And I'm going to show you my process. All right, let's start with number 1 here. Now, I'm going to first distribute. Distribute this 2 and distribute this 3. 2 times 1 is 2x. 2 times 1 is 2. Equal to 3 times 1, which is 3x. And 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. All right, now we have variables on both sides of the equation. Okay, what I like to say is move your letters to the left, numbers to the right, because you don't know where to work away from the variable from. So what I like to do is move the letters to the left, numbers to the right. So to move this 3x to the left, I would have to subtract 3x and subtract it on the like term, 3x there. And now we got 2 minus 3x, and that's going to be negative 1x. And then this will cancel out. I'm going to bring down the positive 2 equal to the negative 12. All right, next I'm going to deal with this constant first. Subtract 2 on both sides. Same sign, find the sum. That gets us negative 14. Bring down this negative 1x equal to negative 14. Divide by negative 1. And x is equal to a positive 14. All right, let's take a look at another one. Okay, here we're going to have to distribute and collect like terms. Let's see if we can do that right quick. I'm going to distribute the 5. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 3 equals to 3 times 1, 3x. Positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 6. And we're going to collect these like terms. 15 and 3. 5x. 15 plus 3 is 18. Equal to 3x minus 6. Letters to the left, numbers to the right. Subtract 3x on both sides. Uh, 5 minus 3 is 2x. Bring down to 18. Equal to, this will cancel out, leaving negative 6. We're going to subtract 18 on both sides. And that's going to get us, zoom in a little more here. 2x is equal to negative 24. Divide by 2. And x is equal to negative 8. Let's see. Actually, that should be negative 12. Yep, that's negative 12 here. Negative 24 divided by 2, it's going to be negative 12. All right. Let's take a look at a couple more real quick. We're going to distribute the 2. 6 plus 6x minus 4 equal to 4 plus 4x. Collect like terms here. And that's going to get us, 2 positive equal to 4 plus 4x. We're going to move the letters to the left. Subtract 4x on both sides. We got 2x plus 2 is equal to 4. Subtract 2 on both sides. 2x is equal to 2. Divide by 2. And x is equal to 1. All right. Running out of time here. One more. All right. And this is important. You got to distribute this negative 1 here, right? All right. Once you do that, you have negative 5x minus 10 is equal to 2 minus 1x minus 4. Like term here is 2 and negative 4. That's going to get you negative 2 minus 1x. Everything else I'm going to bring down here. All right, we're going to move the letters to the left. Add 1x on both sides. That's going to give us negative 4x